was in the hospital my freshman year of college with rapidly deteriorating health, and I felt invisible and powerless as I tried to communicate with the nurses and doctors, and they just ignored me for most of my stay. And I decided that day that I never wanted to feel that helpless again. And that was the day I decided that I needed to go into health professions, needed to be a pharmacist, because I never wanted anyone to feel that way, to feel so hopeless again. When I attended nationals last year, it literally changed my life. I was surrounded by so many people who shared the same why as me. We had seen the disparities in our healthcare system, and we all desired to be a part of that change, to serve the underserved, and to create a system that is better for everyone. And with that and that passion is why I'm running for public relations liaison today. If given the opportunity to serve on the national board, the 3 values that I will bring are consistency, compassion, and challenge. Consistency, as I plan to update the SNPhA by creating a template that can be used for years to come, but also allows for creative freedom for each individual. And I would also like to start the hashtag member moments on Instagram, just to highlight the various things that our chapters are doing throughout the year. Compassion, because I am a dedicated servant leader, and I look to lead through empathy. I believe that there's a strength in leadership that comes from kindness, understanding, and sensitivity. Challenge, because I am never satisfied with complacency, and I strive to better myself and those around me. This includes being willing to challenge and to change already existing structures, such as the SNPhA website, which I would like to update so that it's a little bit easier to navigate and better able to serve the members. Of course, I have several other ideas and so much love for this organization. And if I could, I would spend all day talking about it. But I hope that what I've said today has convinced you to vote for me for National Public Relations Liaison. Thank you for your time.
All right, next we will have Jordan Simpson give his introduction, and he can begin with his speech once he's unmuted.
All righty. Good morning, everyone. My name is Jordan Simpson, and I'm running for the Office of Public Relations Liaison. As former Texas Southern University SNPhA Vice President, through innovative and creative leadership, our chapter has yielded some amazing results, winning 2 national awards, leading first in CIC points as a medium chapter, and ranking top 5 nationally, just re-establishing our chapter as one with so much to offer. So with my experience as vice president, being a chief editor of our monthly chapter newsletter, leading a marketing committee for Kappa Psi's 2018 Southwestern Province, and my experience as historian, published author, director, and leader, together, we can bring clarity to hashtag SNPhA 2020 vision. Vision standing for virtual in SNPhA means integrating our nation. And we can do that through a multitude of ways. We can maximize our social media experience by using everything that each app has to offer, just utilizing Instagram Live to connect across the country, using Facebook stories, using Twitter threads to reintroduce SNPhA to our communities in a new way. We can re-envision the Signatura through an interactive newsletter as opposed to a traditional PDF file. We can restructure snapha.org by providing a fresh new web page design. We can revise the traditional conference experience through Remo, which is a revolutionary virtual conference platform. We can also create a SNAFAM docuseries, a purpose to document the impact that SNPhA makes not only on the community, but the members as well. And we can save a seat for our sponsors by incentivizing partnerships through spreads in the Signatura and social media spotlights and recognition. So in a time where our communities really struggle with envisioning how we move forward, this presents an amazing opportunity for innovation and creativity when it is needed the most. Thank you so much for your time, your consideration, and your vote.
All right, so now while we have Mr. Jordan here, we're going to have questions given. I apologize, I went in the improper order because I didn't allow Chidma to ask her questions first. So, but we will proceed with asking you the questions, and then we'll bring Chidma back in to ask her questions. All right. So first we'll have a question from the nominations committee. For the public relations liaison position. Once they're unmuted. It's Ivory.
Hi, Jordan.
Hi, how you doing?
My question is, tell me about a specific time when people outside your organization were criticizing it unfairly. What did you do or say? How successful were you in changing their minds and attitudes? And what evidence suggests that level of success?
Okay, so with us hosting meetings as a small chapter, coming from seeing a lot of different places of improvement from the year before. So that comes with a lot of speculation on our progress and how we move forward. So definitely our monthly meetings was the time where we are able to advocate on behalf of our vision, our mission as an individual chapter, but also bringing home the mission and vision of SNPhA as a whole organization in serving the underserved. That comes through showing what we have done in that month by providing them with our monthly newsletter. That goes with giving them updates on showing how many people we have impacted throughout that month, throughout our different events. That goes through our social media pages, making sure that we provide an accurate representation of the lives that we're changing in our communities. So with all of that speculation, we just meet it with results, and we meet it with the promise and the determination that we have as a SNPhA chapter to succeed.
Thank you.
Thank you. Great. So now we'll pull from the audience. I believe Ms. Stewart has a question for the Public Relations Liaison. Jamaria Stewart. Once she's unmuted, one moment.
Hello.
Hey, Jamarius.
Hi. Okay, my question for you is, what SNPhA experience, if any, prompted you to run for this position?
So in detailing and going through the details of all that public relations liaison is privy to, I saw that bridging the gap was one of the responsibilities in reconstructing it or just participating in. And if you were at the 2019 national conference, I was definitely in the bridging the gap competition. So being able to see that I actually in seeing the fun that comes through that event, in showing how that we connect, whether it's doing a rap contest or just dancing with each other to Journey's Don't Stop Believing, right? It was definitely a great experience, and I definitely want to be a part of that intentional connecting in that process. So that was one of the main things that really drew me to this position, as well as being encouraged by my e-board, right? I'm nothing without my e-board. So with them just really pushing me to think beyond myself, it just once again speaks to SNPhA's mission of serving the underserved and just really seeing investments in ourselves as far as like mentorship and having somebody being able to see something in you that's greater than yourself. I believe that we're all called to do something greater. So with that, I just definitely saw it as an amazing opportunity to continue to faithfully serve.
Thank you, Jordan, for those answers. Now we will have to shift you back into the breakout room and bring Chitma back to ask her questions. Thanks. All right, so as Chitma comes back, we'll have the same questions asked to her from the nominations committee, one from Ivory and another from Jamaria. Bear with us as we make this transition.
Okay. Hi.
How do you?
I'm good. All righty. My question for you is, tell me about a specific time when people outside of your organization were criticizing it unfairly. What did you do or say? How successful were you in changing their minds or attitudes? And what evidence suggests that level of success?
I think that's a wonderful question. Wherever we go, we are always going to be faced with criticism. And a lot of times that criticism comes from a lack of understanding and a lack of communication. In one of my previous organizations, I served as on the student planning committee for Disaster Day. For those of you guys that don't know, Disaster Day is the nation's largest student-run interprofessional disaster simulation. And so within that, I worked with the College of Nursing, College of Medicine, School of Public Health, and Veterinary Medicine. And that really helped me understand because I was working with some med students and some other nursing students, and they were just kind of like bashing like the College of Pharmacy and like not really like understanding like what we did. And like we would be in some meetings and they're like, why is pharmacy here? Like, what do y'all do? And so I was like, oh my gosh, like you guys don't understand like the value that we have for the team, like how we can help patients. And so what I did was whenever I was working with those students, I just made sure to communicate with them, be like, hey, like what do you actually know about pharmacy, pharmacists, and like what do you know? Tell me what your knowledge is, and like let's talk about why you feel this way. And it really took a lot of individual communication because obviously this is a cultural thing. It's something that as we are moving into more collaborative practices and like we're working more with doctors and nurses, they're seeing our value. And so really taking that time to talk to individuals, see their lack of knowledge and communicate with them like, this is what we do, here's how we add to the team, here's why you're valuable and why you need us. And so as this organization progressed and throughout the year, I was able to just kind of hear and see other students kind of advocating for our profession on behalf. So when other med students were saying things about pharmacy, I would hear the students I had talked to previously say like, actually, they do X, Y, and Z, or actually, you know, I know a pharmacy student, she's actually really smart and she does X, Y, and Z things, and this is what their program is like. And so I really believe that as I helped form those individual relationships, and as I just went in with an understanding of like, not everyone knows, and how can I help educate them instead of being kind of aggressive and being hurt on the front end, and just allowing space for people to grow and to understand and to learn, but then also hold them accountable for once I know that I've talked to them, once I know that I've educated them, making sure that they are continuing on that path of not only educating themselves, but also like helping others to dispel that myth. And I think that really helps the organization. Later at the end of the year when we were doing our evaluation, one of the questions was like, how did you learn to work in an interprofessional team? And I was able to hear and see that a lot of people were able to dispel the myths and misconceptions that they had about the College of Pharmacy and our place in not only that organization, but in a healthcare team as well.
Thank you. Now we will proceed with a question from the general membership, Mr. Maria Stewart.
Hello. My question for you, is what SNPhA experience, if any, prompted you to run for this position?
That's a wonderful question. Thank you so much. I think the catalyst for me running for this position was definitely nationals. Um, I had never been to a convention where I had felt so welcomed and so loved, and I just felt so embraced by complete like strangers. Like I have never met any of y'all in my life before, and I was like, these are my homies, these are my ride or dies, and I just knew that this organization cared about the people, and I think understanding and being in a place where my personal values align with the organization's values was very meaningful, and that really helped me not only to stay in the organization, but also to be an advocate for the organization, to want to do better for the organization. On my local chapter, came back, and me and everyone who attended nationals that year were just so like fired up. And in our executive committee meetings, we were just saying like, y'all, if you had gone to nationals, like you would have been like on this next level. Like everyone should go. If we had the money, we would make everyone go. And it was just like wonderful. And so I really believe that like nationals and attending that really helped me to I already love SNPhA, but it really just helped me put that love into action and made a plan for me to see like there's areas for me to progress in this organization, and that I want to help other people have that experience, to have that, you know, firework moment where they realize like this is why I'm here. This organization loves me, and not just like me as a person, but me as a professional, helping me to develop not only myself, but my community, my school, my areas that I'm at. And like SNPhA does that, and I just want everyone to experience that. And I had that experience at nationals.